Kirkpatrick, Harrell, your head coach coordinators are back. So that's good for continuity. But they're mixing in a lot of new assistant coaches here and kind of late in the game as well.
Yeah, definitely late. I mean, because they started spring practice, and like that first day, they lost a couple coaches, and that's what do we do? We're scrambling. But like you said, if like the continuity of both coordinators and the head coach, I think essentially this time is just important to get to know those guys, right? And like to start, hey, I can trust you to keep an eye on this part of the game or this part of the field, and let me know if anything comes up. And I think that's probably the biggest thing right now is just these coaches learning, like, all right, like I'm comfortable letting this guy run this part, and like the right information can get back to me. So yeah, I think that's the players are really what we're going to notice on game day. I think a lot of this coaching stuff's behind the scenes, and it's for them to kind of work out and get a comfortability. But yeah, the players are when you're essentially replacing an entire offense, yeah, that's jarring.
Patrick, can you give me an offensive and defensive spring darling? I don't know, somebody you've seen or somebody whose name has been talked about a lot by Mike Houston or in the brief chats you've had with Donnie and Blake. Name offensively and defensively who has stood out this spring.
I want to say Sam. Is it Danka?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just been all over the place and just kind of looks the part too on defense. And I think even Blake Harrell just said he's going to be a guy that we can get after the quarterback with and do some different things with. Offensively, it's I'm not sure. I think a couple of receivers. I've heard Kerry King's name a couple times.
That's the one I was thinking.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's looked pretty good. And it's weird to say like backup quarterback, but like Alex Flynn, I think he's just looked really good. So I mean, I'm not saying they have like a competition of a question of who's gonna start, but I think it gives you a nice option that this person can handle anything he's thrown into. So. I
haven't heard a ton of tight end talk. Is that because it's so stable at the top with Shane Calhoun, you think? And
yeah, well, Donnie actually spoke, I think it was last week when he talked with us. He said Shane has essentially been the guy who said, hey, look at me, like I want to make sure that I'm the guy.
Yeah.
And that I guess to me that just means he's practicing really hard and catching everything and just kind of showing that, hey, I'm going to be this number one tight end and I want to be a pass catching tight end and I want to do this. So
I expect big things from him this year.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear about the big dog being off the leash?
What are you talking about?
You didn't hear that the big dog's off the leash?
Woo.
Owen Murphy has committed to East Carolina. Owen Murphy, a transfer offensive lineman from Akron, I believe.
Former leashed lineman.
He is now off the leash. And looks like a bad dude, so we'll see. So getting a little offensive line help in the portal. And the portal is something to follow here after spring ball too, right? Because guys kind of see where they are on the depth chart and don't like it, head out, and could open. We could have some departures, but also could have some guys join us like Isaiah Winstead.
I was gonna say Mike Houston has found some good players in the portal. And he's been selective, too. I know he looks for, some character as well, but you also want a guy, especially maybe at a different level, a guy who shows that he's better than that level or can make an impact at this one, and you can kind of find some sneaky guys there.
Patrick, thank you for hanging out with us today. Did I ask you your Masters Championship meal, what you would have, and will there be soup?
Okay, yeah, so definitely soup, and I'd probably, if I'm going Masters, you gotta go big, so I'd probably go lobster bisque. And I think I'm going to almost verbatim steal last year's champion. I think it was Hideki
Matsuyama.
He had an amazing Champions Dinner. I think it's sushi to start out with. He had like A5 Wagyu beef, mashed potatoes, and all the fixings. Like, that thing was like impeccable. That's what I'm going with, and just add some soup to that, and I'm set.
All right.
It was. I think it was just last year, right? Was it 2022?
All right. Sushi, sashimi. Where did my menu go?
Got the Elon dog showing up.
Yeah. And chicken skewers, miso glazed black cod, and a dashi broth.
I'm sure you nailed that.
Miyazaki Wagyu.
That's like the beef, right?
Yeah, all A5 Wagyu beef ribeye with mixed mushrooms and vegetables.
Yeah, sign me up.
Japanese strawberry shortcake. Interesting. I love strawberry shortcake. I'd love to try a Japanese strawberry shortcake.
Like, I'm taking that menu and just running with it.
And throwing a lobster bisque in there?
Yep.
All right. There you go.
That's mine.
Can't beat it. Patrick, thanks for hanging out, man.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, we'll talk to you next week. Patrick, you can check out pages of the Daily Reflector online, reflector.com. You'll be covering 2 baseball games on Thursday, hopefully 1 Friday, and the spring game Saturday.
Yep, that's it.
You'll be in the poncho coming up on Saturday watching some football. All right, and how'd the wedding go last week?
It was fun. It was good. It was a little windy in Alabama.
Alabama wedding.
Yeah.
Anything like rednecky country catch you off guard?
Not really, honestly. I thought it was
classy.
It was a little surprising. It was good.
A little southern charm. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's take a break. Come back expecting the arrival of Josh Grosz. Also, Ron Barringer, PA announcer for ECU Athletic Events. Talk to him as well. More to go. Pirate Radio Live here on a Wednesday after this.
Pirate Fest, presented by Optimum, offers a full day of piratical tomfoolery. This free event includes 75 vendors, food trucks, art demos, mermaids, and of course, pirates. Join us on Saturday, April 15th from 11 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. for live pirate reenactments, great food, and so much more. Finish off the day with a concert on the town common from country music artists Maddie and Tay. For more information, visit piratefestnc.com. It's going to be awesome.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
With over 30 locations across North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, Quality Equipment is your local John Deere dealer, where you'll find everything you need for your next project. Our complete lineup of John Deere lawn and garden, agricultural, and commercial worksite equipment comes with years of experience, expertise, and dedication. We know what it takes to get it done right. Stop by today or visit us online at qualityequip.com.
Wally's 2 Kettle Corn in Winterville is where you can find the tastiest popcorn around. Make it a movie night at home with Wally's 2 Kettle Corn. They have over 50 flavors to choose from, including classics like cheddar, caramel, and my favorite, better butter. Or try their specialty flavors such as Chicago Style, Wintergreen Mix, and MJ's Cheesecake. Wally's 2 also caters, so if you're hosting a party or event, satisfy your company with delicious popcorn. Check them out on Facebook or stop by and see Wally today on Fire Tower Road across from Sam Jones Barbecue. Wally's 2 Kettle Corn. Make it a poppin' day.
Great. It's 30 degrees in here. This is going to be a cold night.
No one's coming out this late.
I'm on firewood.
Dad! I'll put hot coals in our socks for bedtime.
Mom!
Hi, I'm from Delcor Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Got an email about your heat being out?
That was me. I sent it from my phone.
I think your socks are on fire.
Ah!
Call Delcor today to get a new system installed for less than $100 a month. Offer expires soon. Go to delcorinc.com. Monthly fee based on new system financing is 9.9% APR for 120 months. Call Delcor for details.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates. They're open every day and have live music every night, along with 18 big screen TVs to watch all your favorite sporting events. Tuesday, it's karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesdays, it's line dancing. Thursday night is the dance party with DJ Kid Scene. And live music every Friday and Saturday night with the best bands on the East Coast. Follow the Buck on Instagram for more information on scheduled events, and we'll see you at the Buck.
Do you ever talk to yourself about where to eat today, and then you hear,
boring? Warren's Hot Dogs.
Then you're thinking, yeah, 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink for only $6.25 would be awesome.
Warren's Hot Dogs.
And maybe some homemade lemonade, perhaps a pizza or a sub, and definitely an apple or peach turnover.
Warren's Hot Dogs.
Don't overthink where to eat today. Go to Warren's Hot Dogs in Greenville across from Ron Ayers or in Chocowinity next to the fire station. Warren's Hot Dogs, serving the Pirate Nation since 1991. Go Pirates!
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington has everything you need for game day or any other day for men and women. Whether it's dress, casual, or even a formal occasion, Russell's has you covered. Russell's has served Eastern North Carolina and beyond for 40 years with quality clothing and personal service. Russell's Clothing on Main Street in downtown Washington. Pirates supporting Pirates. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here is your host, Clipper On.
Back with you, Victory Wednesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. East Carolina coming off a 13-9 victory over NC State last night. It was a hit party for the Pirates, a home run party for the Pirates. And joining us, he hits home runs during BP when the pitchers are allowed to take BP. He is Josh Grosz joining us here inside the Pirate Radio studios. Josh, good to see you, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
And happy after a victory last night. So you know that's not a scheduled pitch day for you, so you're into the game. You're energy giver,
yes,
right, in the dugout.
Yes.
And you had a lot of energy to give, a lot to be excited about. 13 runs for your team yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was awesome. It felt like a super regional environment. And it was just, electric from pitch one. And I'm glad we pulled that win out because our fans loved it too.
Josh Moylan got it started just like he did in the Virginia game. I was kind of reminded of that. Kind of similar time of the day, similar crowd.
Yeah.
And got the party started there.
Yeah, he did. That was awesome. He pulled his hands into that. I think it was the first pitch.
I do not recall.
I can't remember. It might have been first. I don't know, but the Jungle had some souvenirs yesterday. What was there, 6 home runs?
Yeah, 3 from Jacob Jenkins Cowart, 1 from Josh Moylan, 1 from Starman, Jacob Starling, and Shaq got a hold of 1 as well. So the ball was flying out of the yard yesterday.
Yep.
For the East Carolina Pirates, and jumped out early too. You know, how important was that? Even though State responded, it was like a basketball game, Josh, with the score changes.
Oh my gosh,
the game.
Yeah. No, it was. That's been our goal for the last several weeks, and we've done a poor job of completing that goal. But we always want to score first, and in Houston, and even the past few midweeks, and even really the past few weekends, we always kind of waited till the 6th, 7th inning to kind of get the bats going, and our goal was just to be the aggressor and come out swinging first, and that's what we did. And after that, puts a little less strain on the bullpen, and the bullpen had some struggles last night, but it was nice to see our offense score runs for the majority of the game, and it was just a great win.
Talking to Josh Grosz on the Delcor Players Lounge. You guys had practice on Monday, and we were speculating on it. You can answer honestly or dishonestly, but was that due to just the schedule this week, playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Was it due to a series loss? Was it due to struggling midweek? Why the Monday practice for you guys?
It was a little bit of everything you just mentioned. We just needed to get better, and we felt like Monday was a good opportunity to get ready for State and kind of start a new week because we didn't have the previous week we wanted. Thanks.
Yep.
And we just felt like Monday was an opportunity for us to go out there, get better, and prepare for Tuesday.
And while the bats were hot last night, did get a good pitching performance, kind of front end and back end. But Zach Root goes 3 innings, gives up a run for you, and you'll take that certainly midweek. And then how about Jake Hunter, watching him perform 4 1/3, and it looked like he was going to go unblemished, but gave up a home run in the ninth. But great outing for him.
Nah, he was lights out. Yeah, he that was huge, and he's been great all year. But it was just good that at that time in the game when he came in, it was just someone needed to kind of stop the bleeding there.
Yeah.
What was that like in the fifth or sixth? Whenever they put up a 5 spot. But yeah, he did a good job of stopping that 2-out rally and not letting him breathe really until that home run in the ninth. But I mean, did a good job finishing the game after that.
Watched a million baseball games, and they always say you see something new, different every game. And I don't recall seeing 7 straight singles like I did last night for NC State. And after ECU scored 5, State came back with 5, and then it was your turn to get the lead back. So it was back and forth. And I've asked you this. So what are you doing, Josh, on games where you're not starting? Do you have a job, a role, or is it all about just being a good teammate? So what are you doing?
Usually I'm on a chart. I wasn't on a chart yesterday, but so when I'm not pitching, I'm in the dugout. My goal is just to keep the energy in the dugout up, and keep the guys vocal and get the crowd into it at times. But the worst thing you can do in the dugout is say nothing at all and kind of just keep to yourself. So the dugout's a good place to get the vibes up and get the boys rolling.
A 13-9 game played in 3 hours and 8 minutes. So that pitch clock and pace, that tells you right there it's still up just over 3 hours, and you scored 22 runs. So
yeah.
Have you enjoyed that more this year? You like to work pretty quick anyway, right? But have you noticed it this far?
Yeah, I mean, we had the pitch clock last year too, and even my freshman year, I think they were starting to kind of play with it.
Okay.
They might have shortened the time, like from 30 or something. I don't know what it was, but I don't think it really affects me. I don't think it affects any of our guys really, because we like to work at a quick pace, and our goal as a team is to get off the field in under, I think, 10 minutes. So anytime we can have a 5 to 8 minute inning means that we fill the zone up. We have we're not walking guys. Hopefully there's not pitching changes because it's a quick inning, and so our goal is usually to get off the field within 5 to 8 minutes.
Josh Grosz joining us, coming off a series loss to Houston, and something happened in that game, Josh, that I have seen a million times in a baseball game. Errors happen, and one happened on Sunday with Jacob Starling, and you're about to get out of the inning, and it's like Josh could throw his best pitch ever, and it's not going to matter because an error always leads to a run. Next batter hits a home run, and it's just like me watching. It's like one of those things. You're in that situation. How frustrating is it? You're about to head off to the mound. I was talking to Mike Mullis, longtime baseball guy. He's like, and we're trying to get into your head like we're psychologists at this point, but it's like, all right, I'm walking off the field. He's going to make this throw of the first, inning over. Now you got to get out there and battle again. Like, is there anything to that? Like,
no, I mean, as a pitcher, I mean, you got to understand that errors are part of the game, and our defense is really good. And if anyone tells you that they expect their guys to be perfect, then they're out of their mind. So whenever Star made that error, I just looked at him and I said, like, you're good, man. Get the next one. And I actually think the last out of that game went right to him. Ground ball right back to him. But I was frustrated that I gave up the home run. But I was more frustrated that we were down 3-0 at that point, and our offense has been kind of quiet all week. So I was just more frustrated that it felt like we were already out of the fight when we still had 4 innings to play.
Yeah.
But I wasn't necessarily upset at the error because that's part of it.
Yeah, and he comes up next inning and hits a home run, does his part to try to make up for it. Right. So that's all he can do at that point.
Yeah.
And Josh, you've got your numbers the other day. 3 strikeouts, no walks. I know you love that.
That's
you did
always big.
2 hit by pitches.
Yeah, that's not great.
but no walks. Fantastic. You go 5 innings. I mean, that's all that you can ask for, pretty much.
Yeah, I was hoping to go more, and my pitch count was pretty low. I think before that error, I think I was at like 30 something pitches, maybe 40, and I ended up with like 64. And like I said, at that point in the game, the offense wasn't really there yet, and I think it was just time. Coaches want to go to give them a different look, and so time to pass the ball. And the bullpen did good until, I think they did good really that whole game. It was just I can't tell you last time I saw a home run hit the foul pole.
Yeah, game. Frustrating.
Yeah.
And the bullpen's been great all year.
Yeah, it has been really
even
great.
You're right in this case. It just could not, seal the deal there against Houston. Kind of same thing happened on Friday night.
Yeah.
Frustrating way to lose it. You're down to the final strike, and there's a pitcher and a batter. I gave the batter a lot of credit there for hitting that double down the line with 2 strikes there in the 9th inning.
Yeah, and we talked about this as a team the other day. We've pitched in a lot of 1-run ball games early on in the season, and which is going to be huge for us down the road because you don't play many playoff games that are, 5-10 run leads. So it's just going to make us better in the long run.
Talking to Josh Grosz, East Carolina getting ready for UCF, and Trey Savage ready to go on 1 day shorter than he's used to. Carter Spivey 2 days shorter, and if we do play on Friday, Josh, you'll be going 2 days shorter. So how does that affect you guys?
Honestly, I think we're fine. I mean, like I said, personally, I had a pretty low pitch count, so I feel great. I'm ready to go. Spivey didn't throw that. I think Spivey threw 85 or maybe he threw 90 pitches, but he had talked to him today. He feels good. Trey's ready to go. So I think our rotation is just going to be as good as it's been.
Yeah.
I mean, and nothing really new there. The only difference would be I was talking to Coach today, and I think that the weather's looking kind of iffy for even Friday. So if that, tomorrow morning, if it looks like it's a wash on Friday, there's a chance that I would come out of the bullpen tomorrow at some point in those 2 games if needed.
All right,
at the last resort.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
But 77 pitches, by the way, for Spivey.
Okay, yeah. So he's
last Saturday.
Good,
So basically, he's telling you to be ready.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And how do you like the idea of that coming out of the pen?
I'm fine. I like it. Yeah, I'm good.
Good deal. Now, so what if, let's say, you don't come out of the pen and you don't play on Friday and Saturday's a wash? You miss a week starting.
Yeah.
What do you do to make up for that, physically?
I've never really been in that scenario before, so I would imagine, maybe get off the mound on Saturday just on my own and kind of have like a more intense bullpen, longer bullpen to kind of simulate that pitch count. But I really don't know what that looks like. I've never been in that spot before.
Speaking of, coming off the mound, I saw, and we've talked about this, but I saw a picture of you guys when you got to Houston. It looked like the pitchers were all kind of throwing off the turf mound and stuff, getting used to it. Again, that is a total eyesore to me, but I understand it. Like if you played natural grass there, it'd probably be brown and yellow all year.
No, for sure.
So I don't know. You said it's not a big deal, right? Any
No,
difference?
I mean, I think our conference, most of the fields we play on are turf fields, and some of them have like Cincinnati has a turf mound. I think Tulane has a turf mound. Obviously, Houston, USF does have turf, I believe. Their mound might be dry, but yeah, it's the guys are on the mound whenever we go places because every mound is a little different. So it's not as much as the turf; it's just kind of the feel for it, the height, the slope, kind of like the backdrop.
Yeah,
if you're gonna turn 2 or something like that. But we like to get off the mound whenever we go somewhere new, just trying to get a feel for it.
Did you see it was in a minor league park, and I want to say it was Southern Miss and I think maybe Ole Miss. And they called the game like in the 3rd inning. The pitcher went to field the ball, and it stepped in a divot or something. And they were like this
yesterday?
This was last week.
Okay.
It's been a week or so. I saw it on Twitter. But the field was so bad that they said, we're not going to play it. We're going to cancel the game.
Wow.
So I don't know if you've ever been in a situation like that. Have you ever been on a field where you're like, hey, we got to get this thing fixed? This is dangerous here?
I remember my freshman year, our pitching coach Dietrich would always say, like, there was an instance on those doubleheader Fridays. We played 2 on Friday for conference because there are no midweeks.
Yeah,
the mound would just get worked on the weekends,
right.
And so he would say, like, some guys would come in and say, like, hey, like, there's a huge hole in the mound or something like that, and he would always say, like, if that ever happens, like, that's your mound. Go call time. We'll put some turfus on it or something like that. But I've never seen a game get canceled because of that.
Was it C.J. Mayhew that used to dig a 10-foot hole with his foot? I swear he'd be up there.
Yeah, he did. That was like his little pregame thing. He would kick at it for like a good 10 seconds.
He would go to town. So, like, do certain pitchers kind of mess with your mound? And how much do you do up there?
Everyone has their own little thing, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to just take my cleat, like, when I'm starting, and it's just freshly raked, so there's no one's been on it yet. I kind of just like to kick it around so I can get, like, the side of my cleat on, like, against the rubber.
Yeah.
Kind of because it's, it's kind of clay, so it kind of sticks that, kind of molds that. But I don't really think it if I was to go after someone else, I don't think it would really make a difference.
Yeah.
You can't really tell.
Talking to Josh Grosz, Pirates coming off a victory over NC State. Does it look, you guys needed a midweek win after the struggles. You needed to win, period. But I don't know, being NC State, does it get you fired up anymore than normal?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying to you if I said that, people don't talk about this game and think about this game for the whole season and even the preseason. So anytime you play an in-state rival, like, UNC or State or Campbell, those games always, Duke sometimes, those games always get the boys going pretty good, and the crowd, the fans love it too. So, when you're playing NC State, home or away, it's going to be a good crowd, and everyone can play in a good crowd.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball, tweeting out his surprising results from Tuesday. His first one was Elon over number 2 Wake Forest.
Yeah,
and,
that's huge.
Yeah, you guys have knocked off Elon this year. I mean, it just goes to show, again, I know I repeat myself, but the amazing baseball played in the Carolinas, especially here in North Carolina.
Yeah, no, there's. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, there's so much good baseball in North Carolina, and even ECU's not a Power 5 conference, but there's just so many good baseball teams that aren't in those big conferences, and it's pretty lucky to have that.
As a pitcher, it might make you flinch a little bit, Josh, but we're used to like midweek, a lot of runs scored in games. That's the kind of way I'm looking at this right now. Wichita State scoring 13 runs in a win over Oklahoma State.
That game.
Clemson had 16 runs in their win against Coastal. So you guys were a part of one of those. You've played some lower scoring midweek games, but last night was an offensive night. Yeah, last night, and we kind of had a come to Jesus moment as a team on Monday before practice, and the message to the team was really just to kind of flip a switch. Like, we're at the midway point of the year, and we want to go somewhere that this team's never gone before, and the only way to do that is to treat every day like it's your last, really, and go out there and compete every day, go 1-0 on the day, and you can only do that by winning practice first and then winning the game, and then just taking everything one thing at a time, and you'll look up and be in a good place. But something had to change after Houston, and I think we got a good response out of that last night. Yeah, and you can only speak for yourself, but is there anything to, like, you guys have had so much success, all these regionals, super regionals, that, and I know you don't feel this way, but, like, does it creep in, like, all right, we're going to be at home again for a regional, we're going to be in another super, and maybe you take the foot off the gas? Like, you have to remind yourself that it's not given to you type of thing? I think that it's very easy to look at that. Like, I think it's easy to be like, oh, like, we're East Carolina, we expect to be there, so it's just going to happen. But the people that have been here for a long time, and the culture that we have, it's an expectation to have success, but it's pretty special to be able to host as many times as we have in a row, and it's definitely a goal because there's no one on our team right now that's ever been a part of a losing season or that hasn't hosted a regional, so which is pretty cool. So that's almost like it's almost an expectation, but it's not like a guarantee. Josh Grosz joining us. Josh, what's it like to see a teammate hit 3 home runs? You're trying to avoid that as a pitcher, but when it's your guy doing it, it's pretty cool, right? Yeah, I would not like that as a pitcher, but as a teammate, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I can't remember I don't think I've ever seen that in game, like on my own team. First time since 2008 it's happened for a Pirate. Corey Kemp was the last one. Ironically, Corey Kemp got on JC on Twitter last week for his home run celebration when the team was losing, and had to come out last night on Twitter and say, okay, now you can celebrate. And I could bring this up again, the whole Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese thing that everybody's freaking out about. Yeah. I don't know. What's your stance on guys going around the bases after hitting a home run? I think it's a little kind of understand the situation. I mean, if I had a home run, I'd be ecstatic. So. Having said that, you told us you'd take your, you'd leave now. If we were, if I hit a game time or game winning home run, my reaction would probably be a little different than if I hit a home run and we had a big deficit or we were up a lot. But a lot of those times, those are things that people do to get the crowd going, to get the teammates going, and it's kind of a tradition to have like a celebration after a double or a home run. But, with the whole Caitlin Clark thing, I mean, that was kind of – I don't know how much that was taken out of hand. I mean, on TV it looked a little obnoxious, but they both came out and said that, hey, there's no bad blood. Like,
it's part of the game.
Yeah, I think as long as the people involved can handle it without violence or anything, like, all right, well, it's none of my business then. Y'all go for it.
There is, I mean, I think sportsmanship still kind of applies. Like, one of the girl for Iowa said that she was like, people in men's basketball have been celebrating and doing hand gestures for years, so like it's time that women need to do as well. And I didn't really see it like that. I saw it more as like, it's more of like taunting. Like, you can celebrate all you want. I mean, you make a three-pointer, throw your hands up in the air or whatever, but there's a difference between like me looking you in the eye and, you know, kind of having some bad
That's
energy.
a good point. That's true.
I wouldn't strike out a guy at the first batter of the game and just stare him down and flip him off.
Look to their dugout.
Like, I mean, that's just like inappropriate.
Good point. Celebrate with your guys, and not against it. Yeah. Right. Josh, speaking of celebrations, what do you think of Carter Cunningham's double celebration?
It's electric.
He's got some moves.
I love it. You know what it's from?
I do not.
You ever seen Despicable Me?
No. You know what? Somehow I didn't watch that one with my daughter.
Well, that's the first thing you need to do.
Yeah.
And then get back with me. But it's from that movie. It's pretty funny.
You ever seen Frozen?
I love Frozen.
I've seen that a million times.
When I was in like 5th grade.
Let it go. Speaking of other things that have happened since we last saw you, did you know you could get ejected after a game had ended? Like Josh Mullen and Cliff Godwin?
I did not know that. I know we know it now, though.
Yeah. That kind of fascinated me. Like, you're out of here. Like,
right.
Well, yeah, the whole team's out of here.
Like we're leaving.
We're out of here, dude. And that was and we were talking about Josh earlier today. He's such like a kind of soft-spoken, like nice guy when we know him. And he told us, we had him right there in that seat. He said he lost his head, heat of the moment type of thing, and showed up the ump a little bit. But just one of those things. And he certainly paid a price having to miss 2 games. It's a pretty big punishment for that. So
yeah, I'm sure that wasn't fun for Josh to miss 2 games, but yeah.
Just don't get ejected, Josh. I guess that would be my advice to you. All right, man. So hopefully we get to see you start. If not, maybe out of the bullpen. That'd be great. But a lot of home games coming up for the Pirates. So
are we home after next week?
Yeah. So you got UCF at home. You got Old Dominion midweek, and then Cincinnati.
Okay.
So a lot of nights in your own bed.
Yeah, that's always good.
A lot of chance to rack up some dubs here, hopefully.
Yeah.
Josh, thanks for hanging out with us today, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, there is Josh Grosz, East Carolina pitcher. We will take a timeout. When we return, Ron Barringer going to join us. A lot of people say, Clip, who's the other guy that does PA when you're not there? It is the Golden Pipes of Ron Barringer, and we'll get to know him because he actually does state baseball games as well. So we'll talk about that dynamic as he called the game last night. Also, we'll make you a winner. More to go. Pirate Radio Live back with you after this.
Getting a Jersey Mike's sub top Mike's way with onion, lettuce, tomatoes, oregano, and the juice is the bee's knees. Actually, it's better than the bee's knees. I mean, what's the purpose of knees on bees? They don't crouch, they just buzz around. But Mike's Way has a purpose, topping your sub the authentic Jersey way. It's the cat's pajamas. Wait, cats don't wear pajamas. Mike's Way is better. Let's just leave it at that. Get your sub top Mike's Way. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Welcome to Russell's Spring Style. Our screen door says welcome to a beautiful selection of new apparel for men and women. The spring colors are bold and beautiful, just in time for vacation and Easter. Men, make your next suit or sport coat purchase easy with in-house alterations to assure a great fit. Ladies, it's Russell's for the best selection in dresses, tops, and slacks for most any occasion. Russell and Rhonda work hard to make Russell's in downtown Washington your shopping destination. It's all about you, our friends and customers at Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville, do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers. Do you have any real estate questions about buying or selling residential or commercial properties? Are you curious about this current real estate market? Do you need a property manager for all your rental houses? This is proud ECU alum Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty and SD Harris Properties, and I would love to help answer every question you have and show you a real estate experience that will be memorable and enjoyable. Every step of the way, I'm here to make your dreams a stress-free reality. Call me today at 347-1857. That's 347-1857. Go Pirates.
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Are you having an event, party, or fundraiser? Call Sparky's to come on site. Remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com to see where they'll be next. North Carolina State Parks invites you to enjoy camping your way. With the weather changing, booking your own cabin is the perfect solution for your camping getaway. Reserve campsites or cabins today at Jones Lake, Goose Creek, and Cliffs of the Neuse. Whether you enjoy traditional camping or air-conditioned cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi, your next adventure can include hiking, beautiful scenery, and sunsets by the campfire. For information on booking a cabin, visit ncparks.gov. Did you know 1 in 5 Americans use alternative wellness practices, and this number is growing with good reason. Your CBD store empowers modern wellness through premium hemp products. We're the #1 CBD brick and mortar in the world with products for sleep, focus, recovery, and more. Our products are the gold standard in hemp wellness. Your CBD store, Greenville, 420 East Arlington Boulevard, or call 999-5127.
Must be 18 years of age. This statement has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Greenville's newest sports bar is officially open. Coco's Sports Bar, located in the old Professor O'Cool's location right off of Greenville Boulevard, has daily specials, including $2.50 aluminum bottles on Tuesdays and $1 wings on Wednesdays. Along with their great food, Coco's has great entertainment for you and the crew to enjoy with karaoke on Thursdays, a live DJ on Fridays, and live music every Saturday night. Check out Coco's Sports Bar on Facebook for the latest information on menu items, drink and lunch specials, and more. Go Pirates!
Pirate Radio.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. East Plumbing, Viva Electric, and Roland Black Heating and Cooling have teamed up to form New Blue Service Group, offering Eastern North Carolina the best in plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services. Same great local team, same great local service, just a new name. For plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services, go to callnewblue.com. That's callnublue.com. New Blue Service Group, where we are redefining service excellence. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. Clip Rock, Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, back on YouTube and Facebook. That's awesome. Shirley, you might already have this. Emma says Zach Agnos on Fresno Grizzlies A opening day roster as a pitcher. So something for you to check out there.
Let's see. I know that I had Zach on my list.
Yeah. We'll look into that. Shirley tries to keep tabs on all of our
rookie league.
Yeah. Well, no, it wouldn't be. It would just say ACL if it was that. What was the name of that again?
Fresno Grizzlies A opening day roster as a pitcher. I don't know. Also,
the problem is Minor League Baseball. Sometimes they do not update their databases, so sometimes we have inaccurate information as to where these players are, so sometimes I'd have to hunt them down. Now, he was in the rookie league last year. That means he's moved up to A-ball, so we're good with that.
The ACL Rockies team that he was on, that is the rookie league, right?
Yes.
All right. And now he's
with
the Fresno Grizzlies.
Yeah, so Fresno Grizzlies, that's A-ball, so he's been moved up.
All right, there you go. Thank you, Emma, for passing that along to us. Eric says, I guess since the Pirates won a midweek game, they are allowed one player to have on the radio to get radio time. Don't get too cocky and think about eating dinner or sleeping afterwards. That goes back to last week where we said the guys need to focus on baseball and not talking or sleeping or eating. Speaking of eating, Chandler, I hated that you left earlier in the show because everything went to H in a handbasket. The place burned down and we had all kinds of issues.
Now build it back up. Look at this. It's beautiful. It looks great.
But I'm glad that you left because you returned with some awesome food from Coco's.
Yes.
And I'm not saying this changed my life, but there certainly is a delineation now, a line. My life before I had a Coco's cheesesteak egg roll and after I had a cheesesteak egg roll from Coco's. That thing
is great.
Was dynamite.
Yes, sir.
And I need more.
Well, you can get more. They're actually in the old location of one of your favorite spots back in the day,
All
Professor
time.
O'Cool's,
Yep.
In the Big Lots Shopping Center. But I had to go over there right quick and record it on location that we'll have on our social media platforms. But I went over there, recorded with my good friend Franco over at Coco's, and he wanted to cook up some wings, and I said, "You mind putting some Philly cheesesteak egg rolls on that plate too?" Because that's one of my favorites. I've been there for lunch a few times, and that's what I've gotten in the past. And he said, "Sure thing." So we got that as a B-roll, and I said, "Hey, do you mind if I take this back to the studio?" I said, "Clip Brock and Shirley Rhodes and the people at the studio will probably enjoy this." And he was like, "Sure thing." So, yeah, but
wait, and then how many did you eat before you got here?
3.
Yeah, you came in here, you were like, "Hey guys, I got some wings and some cheesesteak egg rolls, but there's only a few egg rolls left, and they're my favorite." As if to say, "Don't eat any of those." And I was like, "Dude, I'm eating one of those."
Yeah, I mean, I kind of selfishly did not want you to eat any. I wanted to make you feel like you couldn't, just so I could have them for myself. But I'm glad you.
I only have one.
Well, there's 2 more left if you
Well,
want
I ain't
one.
touching another one. You might bite my fingers off. So.
No, but go check out Coco's. They have daily lunch specials. They're open at 11 o'clock, 7 days a week in the old Professor O'Cool's location, and also a wing special Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, $1 wings all day long.
Wow.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at Coco's Sports Bar.
Nice. All right. Earlier today, the Golden Pipes, the man you hear doing PA at Clark LeClaire during a lot of midweeks and Friday games, Ron Barringer. You also hear him in Minges for women's basketball and other sports as well. You heard him last night. He came by the Pirate Radio studios, and just wanted to get to know him a little bit. A lot of people always ask me, who else is that doing PA when I'm not there? And the answer is Ron. And, man, he's got a great voice. And we talked about the PA game and more earlier today. Let's hear that conversation right now. All right, joining us here in the Pirate Radio studios is Ron Barringer. A lot of folks have asked me, and you're probably wondering, who is that who has the Golden Pipes up there at Clark LeClaire Stadium for some ECU baseball games and other sports, and that is Ron Barringer, and he joins us here on Pirate Radio Live. Ron, thanks for coming in and joining us. How you doing?
Man, I'm good. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yes, and love that voice that we're hearing now, and you've heard it amongst a lot of different athletic events at East Carolina and other places as well. So, Ron, tell us about yourself.
All right.
Yes, and before we get to the PA, who are you?
All right.
What do you do and all that?
All right. So I'm Ron Barringer, and I am actually from Washington, Little Washington. I was born and raised there, and it's still home. My wife is from, her family is from Washington as well, and so that's my hometown. That's where I'm from. We live in Wake Forest. We moved up there about 7 years ago. I've been married for 25 years, just hit 25 years.
Congrats.
On Valentine's Day. Most expensive day of the year to get married.
Well, you took 2 birds with 1 stone. You got the anniversary and the Valentine's. So
That's right. And we have one daughter. Her name's Aurora. She's 12.
Okay. And Ron, your involvement with ECU Athletics, how did that come to be with you doing PA announcing?
Yeah, so in 2015, the Marching Pirates had placed an ad on their Facebook page, their alumni page, that they were looking for a new PA announcer for the marching band. And I attended East Carolina back in 1989 for a very short, brief period of time. And so the announcement said that they were looking for a new PA announcer, and they wanted to start with alumni first. I marched with the Marching Pirates, and then they would reach out to the public. So I reached out to Dr. Staub, who was the director at that time, and gave him my name, told him a little bit about my background. I worked in radio for a long time. I started working in radio in high school, and I've, always announced and did different things like that. And so I reached out to him, and he sent me a copy of a script, and he said, read this and send it back. And so I did and sent it back to him, and he invited me to come to one of the practices for an audition, and he introduced me as the new announcer at the end of rehearsal that day. So that's how I got my foot in the door as far as PA here at East Carolina.
And as you know, there are tons of athletics events, sometimes running simultaneously, so they need PA announcers, and I've been lucky enough to do some baseball, fill in for Morgan on some basketball, some volleyball, lacrosse, women's soccer, across the board, and you yourself have done a lot of those as well. So I guess from there, they heard that voice. They were like, hey, we need to get that at more events. Is that how it all came to be for you?
Pretty much. It's a lot like what you said about your own experience. I had just made myself available. Yeah. And, I will take anything that needs to be covered. I would like the opportunity to do it. And that's how it started. I, too, did some after marching band, I did a weekend softball tournament. That was the next thing that I did. And then from there, it went into women's soccer. You remember Jeff Diamond?
Oh, absolutely.
When Jeff, he and I used to work at a radio station together, but when Jeff retired, I got the opportunity to step into women's basketball. I've just finished up my 7th season with women's basketball. And then again, from there, like you say, filling in for Morgan. What an honor, man. I can never fill his shoes, but the opportunity to, fill in for him. And that's how it started.
Yeah, that's awesome. And now NC State came to town yesterday.
Right.
And you PA'd that baseball game. And
That's
I saw
right.
your Facebook post about, for any of you that know me, you know how big of a deal this is. Well,
Absolutely.
You do some NC State athletics as well, correct?
Absolutely. I got the opportunity at NC State to do some PA. I started doing softball, and then from there, it led to I do PA for their women's volleyball, gymnastics, and then I got the opportunity to do all of baseball at NC State. So I'm in my 6th season of doing PA for NC State baseball.
So you do every game for NC State?
Right, every game for NC State.
Which is why you'll be here some midweek games for ECU.
Absolutely.
The weekends.
That's right.
In Raleigh. So you've seen a lot of good, women's basketball here of late at East Carolina.
For sure.
And a ton of good baseball between ECU and NC State. And, man, I was thinking about this, too. I've done those games in the Keith LeClaire Classic with the two teams not involving ECU playing, and there's been 10 people there at the games.
Right.
And then I've done a super regional game against Texas, and just the energy, the atmosphere. And I saw yesterday you were PAing the 2nd largest attended crowd ever at Clark LeClaire Stadium.
That's right.
Man, and, we're not in the batter's box or on the mound, but we still feel the energy up there, right? It's
100%.
an awesome experience.
I always say that we've got the best seat in the house.
Definitely.
And it was just mind-blowing last night. Again, we pull for the Pirates at my house. We pull for the Wolfpack at my house as well. And so last night, it was just I was not upset by either one that would have won.
Right.
Man, the bats were hot last night. It was amazing. What a great game. And like you say, just the atmosphere. 3 people shy of 6,000.
Man.
And, I mean, the jungle was 5 deep last night. It was just amazing. And the atmosphere, hot bats, balls flying out of the park. It was a great opportunity. And I was humbled by it all, man. I really was. Just the opportunity to be there. It's just mind-blowing to me.
Absolutely. I feel the same way. Ron Barringer joining us. Ron, so you've got that amazing voice. When did you know you wanted to do something in broadcasting, announcing? You mentioned radio work, PA. So you've always had those pipes, I assume. When did you start to put them to good use?
Yeah, so high school, I got the opportunity to work at a radio station, the old 93.3 when it used to be in Chocowinity. I'll drop that name for local folk, Chocowinity. And so I started working there in high school. I worked on the AM side. doing Sunday morning programming, and then I would do on the FM side some overnights and also a lot of the pre-recorded programs. I like to say I'm so old. I remember when AT40 was on record. It was on vinyl record, and so. But yeah, so it started in high school. The opportunity to work on the radio. I did some public address for our basketball team when I was in high school, and that led into college as well. I worked in radio all through college.
Yeah, that's awesome. Ron Barringer joining us. Ron, how about if you could PA announce one sporting event? You get to pick whatever event you could choose. What would you do?
World Series.
Okay.
All the way.
Any particular team or teams?
You know, growing up in the South, I was always a Braves fan growing up. So the opportunity to announce in the old Fulton County Stadium, what an opportunity that would have been. I've had the pleasure and honor of doing PA in a couple of different stadiums. One highlight for me, or that was a bucket list, was the Naval Academy in Annapolis. I've actually done PA there on 2 different occasions, and I've PA'd in the stadium where the Panthers play. The first time was in 2015, and I was on the field. And then the second time when we played there for the Dukes Mayo Classic, I guess a couple years ago, I got to sit up in the press box and PA from there. It was interesting that the press box is not on the 50-yard line in Charlotte. It's
so you
like
did
on
PA
the
for ECU App State?
Yeah, for the band. I did.
Gotcha,
yeah, not for the game itself, but I did pregame and halftime for the band. And then I also got to do pregame and halftime in Birmingham this past December when we went to the bowl game, and I got to do some for the pep rally that night as well.
Awesome. Got to see the Pirates win a bowl game.
Absolutely, man. What a huge win. That was just a great atmosphere all around. The opportunity to get to travel. I've always been I'm a band person, man. I taught school band for years. That's where I kind of found my safe harbor as a student, was in the band room.
That's awesome.
And so I've been around it my whole life.
Gave a lot of shout outs to the pep band for basketball games this year.
Yes.
The drummer was awesome. The whole band was great. It was, which it always is, but it felt like it had an uptick this year.
That's right.
I don't know. It was awesome.
Funny what winning does.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to get to that too. We are able to, as you said, have the best seat in the house to really some good athletics and hopefully a renaissance here when it comes to ECU athletics, because I mentioned the women's basketball team. Had to be fun watching Kim McNeil's team and the run they went on this year for you. Baseball, what they're doing. Hopefully Shane Winkler with softball can get this team where he wants them, and football, obviously. But how about the women's team, and you kind of saw them grow throughout the year?
Absolutely. As I said, so this is my 7th season doing PA for women's basketball. And, like you say, just the development of the talent that's just continually coming in, so solid. I mean, what can one say? Just 2 words, my. I mean, it's like, it's just absolutely fantastic. Just their performance this year on the field, or I should say on the court, the experience that I've had being, at the table, working with them, opportunities that it's created for my family. My daughter is a baton twirler, a featured, or wants to be a featured twirler. She's in 6th grade, but she wants to be a chiropractor, and she wants to be the featured twirler here at East Carolina.
I love those goals. That's
right,
awesome.
right.
Yeah.
And so it was just huge for her. She got her picture with Coach Coach McNeil came out. She was performing at a basketball game. I'll be real brief. I know that we have time. And so she was practicing right outside of Coach McNeil's door downstairs, and Coach McNeil came out and hugged her neck and talked to her and got her picture. And then my daughter got her picture with my and several other basketball players. And that was just, it makes for a proud papa to see your kid out there performing.
That is
way to go, Aurora. Daddy loves you.
And Ron, I remember at the women's game, I'm glad you said my, because Amaya Joyner, great local talent, great player this year. During the games, you say my on the microphone, and I thought that was cool. I was wondering, did you do that on your own? Did you ask, can I say nicknames? How'd that come to be?
Well, it really was ask forgiveness and not permission.
Okay, good. Well, it sounds great. It gives you, I don't know, it gives it a more intimate feel almost.
Yeah. So you know how we have our roster sheets, and it had Amaya, and then in parentheses, my Joyner. And I just saw it, and I just started calling her my, and it just, the way it rolls off my tongue, when she, is on the boards and crashing the boards. And so it just kind of stuck, and nobody came and said, hey, we need you to call her Maya.
Yeah.
And so it just stayed my.
That's awesome, and it makes it kind of that family atmosphere. I don't know. It's something about it makes you feel closer to the team, to the players when you get into the nicknames like that and things.
Sure.
So I thought it was cool hearing it.
Well, I do
inside
too.
of Minji's.
And like I say, until they say stop.
Yeah.
She's gonna
It's
be
a
my
thing
Maya.
now.
That's right.
It's official now. So Ron got some inclement weather coming up with Pirate baseball spring game this weekend. So you're going to be on the call on Thursday for a couple against UCF.
That's right. I got the call this morning that tomorrow's going to be a doubleheader. First game starts at 2, and then the second one will be behind it. And I believe game 3 is scheduled for Friday. I don't think they've set the time yet, but I'll be there for all 3.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to it. I love Pirate baseball.
It's fun. It's awesome to be up there and to see them winning, of course, makes it even more fun.
For sure.
So, Ron, how about, I don't know, you've talked about a lot of your interests and those being sports and band and things like that. Anything else we should know about you? What else are you interested in?
I think that pretty much covers it, man. I love the opportunity to do PA. Oh, I got one thing. So I just picked up a new gig, if you will. I'm going to be the new public address announcer for the Carolina Mudcats.
Awesome. I was going to ask you about minor league baseball. Maybe once college baseball has ended, there's not a ton of time, but you found, and you know what? I saw Hayes Permar was no longer going to be doing that.
Yeah, he retired.
Yeah, great to see you getting that job. That's awesome.
I'm excited. I have we have a mutual friend. So last summer I did public address for the Holly Springs Salamanders in the Coastal Plain League.
Mm-hmm.
And so a gentleman that I worked with over there is friends with some of the guys at the Mudcats. And I got an email, I guess maybe about 6 weeks ago, and it was, someone has given us your name, and we're looking for a new public address announcer. If you have interest, will you send us a resume and some samples of your work? And so I did, and they called me in to come, as they say, get on the mic. And so I went and I did it, and they offered me the position right there on the spot. And man, I'm humbled by it all, man.
Yeah.
I look back from where I started, all that I've done, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity, man. It's like I say, it's the best seat in the house, and it's awesome. I'm looking forward to the Mudcat season. I start next Wednesday. I'm grateful as they've agreed to work with me to let me finish out the college season as well. So,
yeah,
so I'm grateful about that.
You can hear him in Raleigh and Greenville, and now Zebulon coming up soon. The Golden Pipes of Ron Barringer, and glad you could hear him right here on Pirate Radio. Because again, I get asked a lot. Who else does PA, and who's that guy with the great voice? And that's Ron here.
It's the face for radio. Can I drop
I'm right there with you.
There you go. We'll paddle the boat. One more thing I would like to say. Again, I'd like to thank you, Clip, for the opportunity to come in today, man. It's an honor. You and I, we've known each other now for several years. But, man, it truly, truly is an honor for me. A lot of times I feel like a little kid when I see people that I know in person, and when I see them on or hear them on the radio and see you on TV, and just all of the guys and ladies that's been through here. One more thing, I got the opportunity to PA last July. As I said, my daughter twirls baton, and so we went to the Baton Nationals that's held at Notre Dame in South Bend. And so I got the opportunity to do some public address at Notre Dame last summer. So that was another bucket list. That was pretty cool.
Was that in the arena?
In their arena.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
I quick story. So we got there on that Monday, and I just kind of walked right into the arena and was standing out in the middle of the clover and was taking pictures. And all of a sudden, like 4 security guys came. Who are you? What are you doing here? And
well, it sounds like you're a big ask for forgiveness, not permission guy. And I like that about you, Ron. That's good.
Yeah.
Just do it and see what happens.
You got it. I have this philosophy of you're going to have to tell me no.
Yeah.
I'll accept it, but you're going to have to tell me
no. Yeah. You got to say it.
You got to tell me no. Otherwise, I'm going to push hard.
Ron, awesome stuff, man. Great to chat and get to know you a little better. And keep up the great work on the mic out in Greenville and certainly Raleigh and Zebulon. And maybe we'll hear you this summer for some Mudcats baseball as well.
Look forward to it. If you come to a Mudcats, then we'll get you up in the press box.
All right.
That'd be fantastic, man.
Ron, thank you so much. Yeah, and we'll talk to you again down the road.
Thanks. Thank you for the opportunity again.
All right, Ron Barringer. Great to chat with him, and great voice on that guy that you've heard at a lot of East Carolina sporting events. Let's open up the booty bag, Shirley Rhodes, and make somebody a winner.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
317-1250, the number to call. What are we giving away on this lovely Wednesday?
How about lunch for two at Tiebreakers?
Lunch for two at Tiebreakers can be yours if you are caller number
10.
Caller 10, 317-1250. Back with you, Pirate Radio Live after this.
There's nothing more important than protecting your family. Fire ants can cause painful allergic reactions and even death. Protect your loved ones at home where you should feel the safest. Visit pesttech@greenville.com to learn of our once-a-year treatment to guarantee you stay fire ant free. Tested and proven effective by your Eastern North Carolina exterminating professionals at Pest Tech of Greenville. Mention the crying baby for an extra 10% off.
Jeff Stein, our special guest from Brown & Wood. Hey, Jeff, electric cars are coming. What's that mean for Brown & Wood customers?
For the customers, like it or not, EV is coming. We've installed 5 electric vehicle chargers here at the dealership. We have the all-new Cadillac Lyriq coming at 1st of 2024, and we've just seen the first reservation for the new Sierra EV.
People are interested in electric vehicles. How can they get up with you?
They can visit us at brownandwood.net or 329 Southwest Greenville Boulevard. Brown & Wood, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal. To make sure you leave a happy customer.
Take control of your health today with ArcPoint Labs. Are you feeling tired, exhausted, or lethargic and not able to explain why? Fatigue can be caused by a number of things such as lack of sleep, illness, or chronic disease. The ArcPoint Lab Fatigue Panel is designed to help people understand what could be causing their fatigue. Get a simple blood test today by getting started at arcpointlabs.com or call 629-6228. ArcPoint Labs. Accurate, reliable, confidential testing. Visit arcpointlabs.com.
Come pop a top at Jarvis Street Bottle Shop. Jarvis Street Bottle Shop is a specialty shop selling craft, domestic, and import brews, along with wine and growlers. Hosting a tailgate? Stop by the shop and grab a keg for your party or event. The Bottle Shop offers monthly beer and wine tastings, featuring rotating NC craft breweries, along with live music and discounts. Stop by the shop Tuesday through Sunday, or check them out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Opening day for the Wood Ducks is this Thursday, April 6th, with the first pitch at 7 p.m. and post-game fireworks. There will be giveaways all weekend, starting with the magnet schedule on Thursday, presented by Bojangles and WNCT Channel 9, a jersey koozie on Friday, sponsored by MedSource Pharmacy and the UPS store, and finally a City Edition jersey on Saturday, presented by Pepsi. All to the first 1,000 fans. Also on Saturday is the 75th anniversary celebration of Granger Stadium and a post-game Easter egg hunt, sponsored by Barnes Jewelers. It's the start to another fun-filled season. Go Woodies! Familia is your go-to spot for the best Italian dishes around, including pizzas, pastas, salads, and homemade desserts.
That's Familia.
Enjoy half-off wine night on Wednesdays, $3 drafts on Thursdays, or get a pizza of the week for just $12.
That's Familia.
Place your order online or call 689-6330, and Familia will have your order ready in their drive-thru window for pickup.
That's Familia.
Clip, really?
Oh, sorry.
Familia on Fire Tower Road in Winterville near Pitt Community College.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Before anyone walks into your business, the outside is what they see. Make sure your first impression is a good impression with the right curb appeal. Hi, this is Daniel Andrews from Dan Andrews Lawn Service. We specialize in making your business look great. Let us handle all your professional landscaping needs. We do it all so you don't ever have to worry. Residential services are also available. Call us today at 717-8006 and we'll come out and give you a free quote. Taking care of your landscaping needs is all we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. You can trust our reliable team at Dan Andrews Lawn Service, covering all of Eastern North Carolina.
Pirate Radio.
You know, for having such a bleak outlook on pirates, you're well on your way to becoming one.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Order Jersey Mike subs on the mobile app and get delivery right to your home, or save time and order ahead to skip the line to pick up from your nearest Jersey Mike's sub location. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. And congratulations to Preston Morgan of Robertsonville. Picked up lunch for two at Tiebreakers. Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. and is the best place to watch your favorite sports while enjoying the best wings in town, along with sandwiches, appetizers, cold beer, and more. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. Tiebreakers in Greenville at Bells Fork and in downtown Winterville on Railroad Street. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live, wrapping things up here on a Wednesday. Thanks to Ken Watlington for joining us on the show, along with Patrick Mason, Josh Grosz, and Ron Barringer. Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, Clip Rock here. Eric on YouTube says the Mudcats have the best logo hat in the minors. The Bulls may be more iconic, but Mudcats take the crown. Yeah, fight me. All right, no need to fight about it. Now, when I think about it, my love for minor league hats might have began with the Mudcats, just seeing that as a kid. And getting that one, I remember I had the Hickory Crawdads as a youth that I was a big fan of. But the Mudcats may have started my love for minor league hats, which I'm wearing one today, courtesy of a listener who sent this bad boy in. And I couldn't tell you what the heck it is, but it's pretty funky. Eric says, fun fact, the Mudcats have a quick cameos in The Rookie and Space Jam. All right, Eric, what do you do? Work for the Mudcats? Relax, bro.
Speaking of the Durham Bulls, they're bringing back that classic Durham Bulls jacket that you would have seen in
Bull Durham.
Bull Durham, thank you. They restocked it. Apparently, the first batch of jackets that they put out sold out immediately. So they just announced on Twitter that they had restocked those jackets, and that's a classic look too. That's that old retro look that I kind of. I don't necessarily say that I like the logo, but I think the jackets are pretty cool.
They were rocking some throwbacks that I retweeted over the weekend that were awesome looking. Loved them.
Speaking of throwbacks, real quick, the Lake County Captains, I was just reading on Twitter, they're trying to enhance your experience at the ballpark. They have built and opened a retro 80s style arcade in their ballpark. I thought that was pretty cool.
And this is minor league baseball has always been this way, but like all sports are going to have to think of some ways to get people to go to games now that it's so expensive, now that TVs are so great, you can sit at home and watch. So that I like that outside the box thinking. It's a good idea.
You got kids that have like kid zones. Why not have an adult zone?
That's like a mom zone.
Oh, that's a total dad zone.
That's awesome.
Or adult zone.
Quick on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by DeBuck. Braves beat the Cardinals 5-2. Atlanta's 5-1 on the year.
Yeah, he had to throw that in.
We got us a team. Pirates beat the Red Sox today, Shirley.
How do you lose to the damn Pirates?
Save
Not that one.
Save that sound effect. We could play that a lot.
Not those Pirates, the other Pirates.
And Chandler, your team is a loser as well. They lose Nats to the Rays 7-2. Dang it. There you go on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by DeBuck. We will talk to you Thursday. Be doing a little watch-along action and talking to Jeff Nadeau. Ellerby will join us. Brandon Manning, Name That Sound, all coming up on a Thursday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Talk to you Thursday at 3. For Shirley, Chan, I'm Clip Rock. Jeff Charles, take us home.
Have a great night, Eastern Carolina.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the